people coming.
You would ruin the silent intro part. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Token Podcast. I'm your host and sometimes referee, the friendly neighborhood Zach Stat Pearson. And today I'm joined by he who is the king of the cold. He who shovels all that is white, but not the powdery stuff that goes in your nose. A one king of House Alaska.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And of course, the real reason you're here. The man whose chill vibes know no equal. The world could quake and his boots would not even tremble. The lo-fi, hi-fi guy himself. Producer extraordinaire, Cole G.
Yo, what's good, everyone? What's good?
All right, Cole G, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, yeah, man. First of all, thanks for having me.
No
Thanks
problem.
For,
It's been,
having me
what,
on the show.
2-3 years? We
Yeah,
needed
man,
to look up anyway.
Since, definitely haven't seen you since I moved out.
2018?
Yeah, 2018, since
Oof.
I moved out that crib.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, my name's Cole G, producer, DJ. I do, like, a lot of other random music stuff. But, yeah, from Detroit, Michigan area. Moved out here to Chicago right after school around 2017. Just had, like, the very corporate ass job and was just doing that, but always had a passion for music, and just during COVID, man, everything just started changing and kind of just clicking for me more with
Ain't that the
music.
truth?
So yeah, happy to be here, happy to be where I'm at, and yeah, happy to be, like I said, on your show and get seeing you, man.
Hey, and I'm happy to have you in my city. We could use more chill people like you. And if you ever think about going home, just eat the pizza and you'll forget. That being said, is there any place they can find you turning tables in particular?
Yeah, man. So actually, you can always catch me at a place in Logan Square called Navigator Tap Room. I am there on Sundays DJing, and just every second Sunday. So yeah, pull up on me. I just play super chill shit. You know, it's just neo soul, R&B, instrumentals, and yeah, you can get pretty drunk there too. They have some good drinks. So,
And for those
it's actually like a pour your own beer place, so it's not like a typical bar. You legit like fill up your own beer and like cocktail drinks they have there, which is dope.
And for those of you watching our video version of this podcast episode, you can also see on screen that, why does that always happen? Every time I start typing Cole, it'll put in J. Cole.
I mean, I'm kind of used to it by now.
Yeah, I mean, there are worse people to be compared to.
Right, facts.
It's not an Epstein.
Right.
Oh, wait, you can't say that word on YouTube. Ooh, I'm in trouble. So, yeah, this is how you can pull them up. I don't know why I didn't hit that button earlier.
It's all good.
Yeah, because I got like, where are the songs I saved of yours that I was into? Man, my saved songs? Oh, it's probably because I did it on my phone. Okay. Well, as you can see from the screen, he's got some songs up here. He mostly, what are your genre specialties you said?
Yeah, it's like lo-fi instrumentals. I wouldn't even say it's lo-fi. It's not like the traditional lo-fi because I sample a lot of like old R&B tracks.
So you're more of a hybrid artist.
Yeah, kind of more of a hybrid instrumental, but it's not like your basic lo-fi that your study beats that you kind of hear nowadays a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, let's get into the question. So first and foremost, I just want to know, what inspired you to make your own music?
Yeah, man, I could probably talk about that for a lot, but it's a lot of different reasons. I probably have like mainly like 3 reasons though. I mean, the first one, obvious, you know, growing up black, always playing music in the background, you know, any family function.
Real talk. Like, I know it's like the most clichéest stereotype to ever stereotype a stereotype, but you didn't necessarily have access to a musical instrument, or if you did, like a lot of the greats of the past, and I'm including even Chuck Berry himself, you didn't necessarily have a teacher. You just kept playing until you stopped sounding like shit.
Yeah. So, but just like, yeah, playing growing up family, and they're always playing like old R&B tracks, just like cleaning the house and just like little stuff like that. Just always kind of brings me back to my childhood with music. And then another big thing, and I think I even talked to you before, it's definitely video games. Love Final Fantasy when I was a kid, like young. I have a brother, he's 8 years older than me. And so when Final Fantasy 7 came out, I had to be like 3 years old or something like that, and I would just watch him play for hours. Like I I don't know how I just watched this man play a game and had no idea what was going on.
And now it's a profession.
And now it's a profession. But going back to that, I just felt the music was always so calming, and like I just remember like feeling like in a whole new world just watching him play that game. And the music had a lot to do with why I just sat up and watched him play that game all the damn time.
I mean, for an introductory into like music and video games, I mean, Final Fantasy VII, just the music in that entire game just sets every ambiance in every place you go. Like
exactly,
like it really sets the mood in anywhere you go, and like that is an awesome game to like initially get into, like listening to music and seeing how that works, because it's beautiful.
Now, for those of you who didn't know, a lot of the epicness that is the music of Square Enix back during the Square Soft days, and also to some degree a little bit after that, the main man who was in there as a full-timer before he went freelance is a guy by the name of Nobuo Uematsu. Yes, literally he's been considered that outside of gaming too. Yes. If you've played a video game between, we'll just say 89 to maybe 2015, if you heard anything he did, you would wonder how long until it ends up in an orchestral arrangement. And his shit goes on tours.
Yep.
And a small fact, which is on screen right now, a lot of people don't realize he did. The theme song for Super Smash Bros. 3 or Brawl, he did it. But for you Final Fantasy heads out there, he pretty much did 90% of the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. And if you go back in time, he's done more than 50% of Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, and I believe some Legend of Mana soundtracks. You can also find him on Spotify under his name, Nobuo Uematsu, too. It should even link you to tracks that don't actually go to an album that he made, but album that's sampled or is an arrangement version of his own stuff. There are literally people who have made careers off of literally making their own versions of this man's music. That's how you know you got power. Let me just say that.
Facts, big facts.
And every time he comes to Chicago, I've seen him like 5 times. I'm still blown away about how humble he is.
I didn't know he toured like that.
Well, it's a more like a tour / sometimes spectator situation.
Okay.
So sometimes when he's doing arrangements or he's not necessarily leading it, he'll just be at the show.
Oh.
Like
he's definitely hit me up.
Yeah,
next time this happens.
Anime Central has had him come through 3 times. I literally just saw him standing in the lobby, and no one seemed to have known it was him. Yeah. Like no one recognized him but me. I was like, it's fucking Uematsu.
Right.
It's like, what's Uematsu? Is that like seafood? It's like,
You're
it's
right.
A person. Y'all
That's
trying
funny.
to eat him and shit? That actually happened. That was the actual conversation. No hyperbole. So, also Final Fantasy Distant Worlds Tour. Illinois, or rather Chicago, is one of their permanent stops for every single year that they've done it, and they're in like year 10.
Okay.
So he should be back in February.
Oh hell yeah, let's make that move. Definitely.
Yeah, like the tickets go from like $80 to like a few hundred, so it's pretty easy to get to.
I'm there.
Oh yeah, and have you played you haven't played Nier Automata yet?
Nah.
That one game soundtrack they're comparing to his entire library.
Oh wow. Okay.
And they don't even speak English when they sing operatic notes.
Yeah.
They made up a language.
Yeah.
I gotta let you listen to that soundtrack one day. They have concerts in here all the time, but I digress. All right, and what's the final inspiration?
Yeah, so I mean, still going back to Final Fantasy 2, I was just gonna say like even like the ones I played when I got older was even more inspiration. Like Final Fantasy 10 was probably like that was when I felt like my game essentially, because 7 and like all the ones between that was more my brother, and so like 10 hit, and that's when I kind of got of age, and that's when like stuff I was like I want to make some cool shit like this, like good story, you know, kind of like a little romance to it too, and kind of like setting the scene. And so yeah, that was Final Fantasy X soundtrack was game changer right there.
Well, if there's 2 things that can take you on an emotional psychological journey that's legal, it's movies and music.
Yep. But
I mean, I'll take you on a psychological journey, Zach, real quickly. We'll bring in Final Fantasy 13 again.
Oh,
anyways,
13 soundtrack is crazy too. I've actually sampled 13 soundtrack. Shoot,
that's the only good thing about it.
That actually might be the best soundtrack now that I think about it. It might be 13, but
I've never heard anyone say that, but okay.
It's a hot take. It's a hot take.
No, I agree.
It's between 10 and 13 though.
I know. It's still fucking. It's not a hot take to say that soundtrack's better than the fucking game.
Oh no, that's not a hot take.
Yeah, that's just facts.
Yeah, and then just the last inspiration, I gotta give a shout out to Samurai Champloo. Crazy. Just
Nujabes, may he rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace, Nujabes. And another thing, just when I was a kid, just the calming vibes of that show. watching the fight scenes and how it went with the music, and it wasn't even like aggressive music. It was just smooth as hell. And I love that animation style, and just it's weird how anime and like chill beats just go so hand in hand together, and just like gives you that comfort. And I just always love that.
Yeah. Weird fact, he ended up making more songs than were used in the show. So if you get the entire Samurai Champloo album, it's like 3 discs.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hard to find too.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yes, somebody's watching this is going to watch the video and like, man, I'm gonna look up all these people. Like, just go look at the YouTube, bro. All their names are being shown to you in real time. All right. Well, I don't know how many albums you made. About 4 so far.
Yeah, I think 3 albums and then like 2 EPs.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you. Well, let me ask you this, and I know that the answer can change, or if there isn't a correct answer, it's fine. There's no wrong answers. What was your favorite album to work on?
Like mine personally, you're saying?
Yes. Then not to be your album, just any album you worked on.
Okay. I mean, going back to my work, it's got to be one.
And I'll try to pull it up.
It's called PTO Days. It was just something I made very quickly. I think I made it in only like 2 or 3 weeks. I think I had all 6 beats done in at least a 2-week span. But yeah, it was in a weird time where I was just very stressed with my job, and I was honestly getting my ass kicked at my job, and I was low-key ready to quit. But it was just a stressful time, and like that's kind of the inspiration for it, was just like taking days off, and it was during Christmas time too. And so I feel like the project kind of has like a Christmassy vibe, like a very winter, cozy, Christmassy vibe.
Wonderland.
So, yeah, that's definitely my favorite project. I just feel like I was just really, I feel like it's just like a good definition of me.
Let me just note that this man has a track called Final Fantasy and Chill on this album.
I do.
Head over to the pick dump section, King. So I'm sorry you were having trouble at your job that I've literally never had a description for, but I'm glad it put you, eventually you got out of it.
Oh, I'm still working, but I'm just good at my job, because I made that album last year, but I'm just good at my job now, doing 9 to 5.
Okay, I'm adding a question. What exactly is your job? Because I've never actually known that.
I work for pretty much to do that, you get like a $40 copay when you get prescription. Yeah. I like handle all that stuff in the background, like making
you're administration. Okay.
Yeah, like healthcare. So I work with like all the HR departments, setting up their benefits for all their employees and different companies like that. So yeah, that is my exciting 9 to 5. That is.
Hey, look. Some people live to work. Some people work to live. And some people just do their job now so they can do a job they want to later.
Exactly.
There is nothing wrong with 2 of those. So, hey, as long as it can keep you afloat in this pandemic, I'm not going to be mad at you. You're not doing anything illegal, so you'll get nothing but support from me. I know it sucks, but I think we all been there at some point. A shit job that could lead to something better, or you were doing a shit job and trying to figure out how to fund something better.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say it's like a terrible job. Like it was
boring.
I mean, it's boring, but it was just like that Christmas time is like our busy season, and I was kind of newer, so it was tough. But like I said, now like this past year went through it, but it was a breeze because I got that experience. Yeah. So right now it's cool. I kind of like the balance. I actually kind of like the balance of working and then doing music. It's
like it is the best feeling in the world, because when I have a part-time job and I can work on the game design stuff and the podcast stuff and just write humor, because I don't do stand-up anymore, not because I suck. But cooties everywhere. You don't know what could fucking happen.
Yeah, facts.
I had to get that shit off my chest.
Right.
I felt like there was a literal pressure, like right after Thanksgiving type of pressure, that I just couldn't get out of my heart until I found a way to release it. And I found a positive way to release it. And luckily I've been able to have my friends also have an interest in it, which that's the best part for me. It's not that I'm relieving my stress. It's I'm relieving my stress and having fun with people I fucking like or I grew up with.
Right.
Like, you don't know it, but most of these people in here, they were either in the military with me on this whole entire user list. They were either in the military with me, and if they weren't in the military with me, they were people that I've been gaming with or family members for years. This is one of the only years, this year and last year is one of the only years where I've gotten people who I don't actually have a personal rapport with, but they're still cool people. And I hope to see more of them and have them come on more. Like this one right here, She got 1 million followers on her fucking YouTube channel.
Oh damn!
I went to high school with her.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, but this is only her first year being in this whole group.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. Moving on. I know this is a bit of a tough question, or some people give ambiguous answers, and a lot of people don't like it. But I'm not gonna judge you. How would you describe your style of music in layman's terms?
I mean, I hate just using the word chill all the time, but
I know because technically it's not a genre.
Yeah,
yet.
right.
Yet,
but I try to like, you know, nostalgia has always been like a big thing to me. So I try to make things like super nostalgic and like kind of like heavy and like, I don't know, it's weird. It's
old school.
It's kind of old school, kind of like gritty a little bit. Like some of my stuff doesn't have like the best quality I know, but I kind of like that sound, that like kind of rough sound, that old school sound types. It can a little bit.
Yeah, outdated material can have its own aesthetic.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
How many songs do we know have a singer or something from the 60s or 70s in the background, but with squeaky pitch, which we was talking about not too long ago?
Yep.
Kanye made that shit famous, but technically those songs would be like 30 or 40 years old.
Yep.
So, you know, ain't nothing wrong with recycling as long as you can remix.
Yep. So I mean, it's kind of that's kind of how I describe the aesthetic. I can't talk of my sound, but yeah, you kind of nailed it right on the head there.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we're not composers ourselves, but this is just a general thing. Let me ask you, what advice to new composers looking to try and do things for a living would you give?
Just know it's gonna take a long ass time. So I actually picked up my first like beat machine when I was in college, like, and I got it like in my dorm. And I remember I was getting so hype. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be this cool ass kid in the dorm making beats for people and going to class and shit. And like I did not touch that thing both semesters really. It was
Damn.
Yeah, it took a while. And plus, like, getting to learn the software and stuff, and like, it's not gonna happen overnight. Things just don't click like that.
I'm so glad you said that, because that doesn't even apply just to music. But well, I'm in a unique situation because almost every job I had that's actually been high paying has involved being on a computer or having some type of software programs. You're not going to get it day one. Facts. You're not supposed to get it day one.
Facts.
You're supposed to fucking ambitiously grind and not give up. Even if you don't make the perfect shit, no one starts off that way. You literally have to crawl before you can walk. But everybody want to look fly and fly without even having taken their first step.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate it.
Yep, and it's kind of funny too, because I literally remember like it's my very first post on Instagram. I was like, I'm about to get good at this shit, and then like I didn't do shit that whole semester. I remember but it's funny now to look back on. You know, that had to be like
the memories.
That was like 2014, I think, or 2013, whatever. And you know, obviously, 7 years later, now I can confidently say I'm using it. So, which is a good feeling. So it took a while, you know, for me to get back into producing, but it's always just been you know, in my head. In college, it was more just like let me just try to make a beat or some shit. But obviously, 2020 kind of
you found a lot of free time.
Yeah, found a lot more free time, and actually took the time to watch like YouTube tutorials, and as you stated, like study the software and actually see how other people are using it. I was trying to do everything alone before.
Biggest mistake with music.
Yep.
Because there's not even just because it's hard, it's because there's so many new terms that are going to hit you in the face you don't even know how to respond to.
Mm-hmm. Facts. So once I started like reaching out to people, looking at finding like certain producers who have YouTube tutorials who I really like, and I come from YouTube University, man. It's a real thing.
Okay, well, this next question, I apologize if it comes off as a little personal. It is not intended, but I'm going to just ask you personally, do you value gaining notoriety, or you prefer to simply just create good music that you yourself enjoy?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I think every musician kind of wants a lot of, you know, not a lot, but some notoriety. You know, it feels good. That's why I like to do beat shows and play my beats in front of people and stuff like that, or promote my stuff in general. So like, yeah, I'm not like, I don't want to be like Kanye famous or nothing like that, but like, you know, it does feel good to just hear someone say, hey, this beat's dope. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and that's all I need. You know, if people really dig my music. And then what was like the other part?
Do you prefer to get like fame and attention, aka notoriety, or you just prefer to simply create good music that you yourself enjoy?
Oh yeah, and then so that's true as well, because obviously I'm having fun with it at the end of the day, and if I make it, I'm probably listening to it, enjoying it. So I can't say that for all my stuff, because some stuff I'll look back on, I'm like, that was kind of shitty. But whatever.
I mean, well, hey, you can literally go and remix it or redo
it. Yeah. But I mean, I think that just happens with any artist, because you work on it so much. Imagine hearing the same loop 100 times. Of course, you're gonna pick out the nitty gritty and like the errors of what you could have done better. So I think that's just how it is for any producer once they make something.
Reminds me of two famous artistic sayings. Number one, an artist is never truly finished with their work. They're only abandoned or they died. And the second one is, give any artist 2 years of experience and they will hate any old thing they've done.
That's very accurate.
And I really hate when they get that way. Yeah. Because here's something that now it's not a you thing, but this is like, well, you haven't seen it yet, but in my social media, I know a lot of genuinely creative people. Mm-hmm. I'm talking 3D engineers, composers, print people who make costumes all the fucking time, singers, dancers, actual musicians. And if I tell them something is nice, oh, it's just garbage. Like, no, this is good. Oh, well, you just saying that for my friend. They find ways to turn the positive statement into self shit talking.
Right.
And it makes me so mad because I'm being genuine and I feel like you're telling me I'm lying to your face. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Our final question, unless King has something after this. What track do you feel like, and I'm gonna pull up the Spotify again. What track do you feel is your best work, or do you think you have yet to have created that said track?
I mean, yeah, I would definitely say I haven't made my best track yet, because I'm, I feel like as a producer every year I do get better, and I'm just still learning so much. So I definitely wouldn't say I created my best track yet, but my favorite track, and you had already called it out actually, it's definitely got to be FF and Chill. It's just like,
hey, we'll make sure to loop this in the background for you guys. Don't worry, you'll actually be able to hear it, because, well, if YouTube says that there's a copyright infringement, I can immediately throw it out because the person who made the song said I can do it in the damn video.
Yeah.
Their automated system pisses me off so much. You have no idea, bro.
It's just, I love that beat so much because it's very personal, and it kind of just like represents me like in full. It's like, it's a Final Fantasy sample. It's very jazzy, and then it's like I played keys on it too. And then this is kind of like a weird style of mine, but I always like throwing like little voiceovers in. And so I actually threw a clip of the Final Fantasy remake in there. It's like when Cloud and Aerith, they're like talking, and I don't know, it just blends in so perfectly. And it's like, it sounds like a score, honestly, like a movie. And something about like when people are like talking and just like soothing music is just really dope to me. So I just feel like it has all the elements that I really enjoy.
Spotify might try to remove that song in particular.
Yeah.
One day,
probably.
But I would say if you can, maybe do a remix where you just take that little piece out, or call it the altered version. Or something.
Right.
Because
you'd be surprised though, man. I listen to a lot of producers and that they do the same thing. They got way more plays than me, so that was
might have licensing though.
I don't think they do, but
no, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. Like, I know some people just.
Yeah, no, facts.
Yeah, you just completely like cut out there for like the last couple seconds.
Okay, well, it was nothing big. I was just asking him a question about what he would like to say to anybody who's listening to him currently, or anybody who might come in and listen.
What do people normally say for this question?
Well, you're the first person we're interviewing for the year, so man, you set that standard.
Oh, yikes! There's a lot of pressure. No, I don't really got much. Just follow. Check out my social media, check out my music. It's like I said, it's just super chill. And if you're in Chicago area, pull up on me. Like I said,
he's very approachable.
I'm very approachable, man. And I DJ too, and I DJ a lot of little small bars here in Chicago. And so, and I post all my events on social media. And normally I'm just like playing music and chopping it up with friends, and that's really all I do, man. So come through, have a drink, and vibe out a little bit.
Perfect picture to end on.
Oh, yep. That's the OG picture. Did not do shit that night.
October 11th, 2013.
Did not do anything. Literally just plugged it in.
Well, once again, he is Cozy Cole G on Instagram, as you can see from the top in this video. And you can find him on Spotify under Cole Space G.
And Apple Music and Tidal and everything else.
Pretty much. His link tree will be in the description box on YouTube. And of course, you can just tell by how we're describing and saying things how to find him on everything else. With that being said, I definitely appreciate you coming through, Cole G.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, man.
And I look forward to listening to more of your music in the future, especially that Final Fantasy and Chill, because that EP I hadn't gone through. And I will see you guys when I see you guys.
Thanks for having me, man.